Department of Optometry, Assam Downtown University. I welcome all of you for today's session on creating awareness for vaccination, way to prevent COVID. We feel very lucky to have with us Professor Dr. Jyotika Oza ma'am as a guest speaker for today's session. Professor Dr. Jyotika Oza ma'am currently working as professor and head of the Department of Community Medicine, Guwahati Medical College, Guwahati, Assam. She has an educational qualification of MBBS, DO, MD in social and preventive medicines. Her experiences are as external examiner for various UG examinations of RIMS, Manipur, Nehu, North Bengal, North Bengal Medical College, North Bengal Medical College, Sikkim Manipal University, Negrims Meghalaya, and PIC and counselor in IGNOU, member of State AEFI Committee, member of Local Committee of Regional Science Center Guwahati, member of Ethical Committee of Sri Shankaradeva Netralaya, and she also has a 40+ publications from various research projects. She is also a life member of Indian Public Health Association, life member of Indian Medical Association, and life member of Indian Association of Preventive and Social Medicine. So now I request Professor Dr. Jyotika Oza ma'am to kindly start the session. Ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, at the very outset, I'd like to thank the organizing committee of this Assam Downtown University, and especially Dr. Gitumani, to give me this opportunity to share my views in this platform. So now I want to start my lecture in the topic creating awareness for vaccination. It's a very interesting topic, which is a way to prevent the COVID. So coronavirus disease in 2019, which is also called the COVID-19, which is a respiratory disease, which is caused by the virus severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, which is also called SARS-CoV-2. And this disease has emerged as a global pandemic because this disease is spread from one continent to another continent, making a pandemic one. And this COVID-19, as you know, it was first reported in Wuhan of the China in December 2019, where a group of individuals were presented with some atypical pneumonia of unknown etiology. And from this China, this disease has spread to very rapidly to a number of countries. You can say that almost all the countries, causing lots of morbidity and mortality. That's why the World Health Organization, they declared this outbreak as a public health emergency of international concern on the 30th January. And because it is necessary, because it affected most of the countries, so it's declared as a pandemic in 2020 in the 11th March. When we see the scenario of this disease in India, the first case was reported in the 27th January in the 2020, and in Assam in the 31st March of this. In the India, first case was reported, as you know, in the Kerala, and Assam first case was reported in this Kasa district in the Chandrapur in the 31st March. And in the first wave, there approximately 2 lakhs people were infected with numbers of death was there. But after that, India again experienced a rise of number of cases from the middle of the February of 21 as a second wave, and which causes huge number of deaths. As you have seen that 4 lakh cases per day was reported towards the peak, mainly in the month of May, and with a huge number of deaths in the same time. So we are actually concerned with this of the disease because of this high mortality and morbidity, and also because of their changing characteristic of this viruses of this disease, because this virus is still evolving. So like any other viruses, this SARS-CoV-2 virus, this coronavirus, has been evolving since it first emerged in late 2019. And that's why the WHO, they identified there are 4 variants of concern. When we see the concern, these are superior to the variant of interest. Concern was highly contagious and it causes severe consequences also there. That is called this variant of concern. And the 4 are reported as a designated as or identified as a variant of interest. They are also outbreak, but it is a limited one. So we are mainly focus on this variant of concern, and because the high mortality and morbidity associated with this variant or this variant, and also have some consequences also, severe consequences also there. So there are 4 other. One is alpha variant, which is first reported in 2020 in United Kingdom. Then beta in the South Africa in the May 2020, then gamma in the Brazil 2020, and delta, which are reported in India in October 2020. And these are the variant of interest are there, Eta, Lota, Kappa, and Lambda. So because of the mutation, the delta variant, which is now available in India, along with this alpha variant, which can spread more easily. That means many people may be more contagious if they are contracted with the virus and more easily spread it to others. The another variant is there, which is called the Delta plus variant, which is a subvariant of the Delta version, also identified in India. So along with this spread of these infections, and also because of this changing characteristics of these viruses, just we don't know about the further mutation. If there is any further mutation will be there or not, if any other variant will be appearing, because this virus is still evolving. So there's uncertainty is there for this disease, and we do not have the medicines also. So another variant is lambda. Lambda variant is also there, which is first identified in the Peru on the 14th of June. This is also called a variant of interest. So number of variants are there, either variant of interest or variants of concern. And because of this, still this mutation is going on. So there is uncertainty whether we will get another variant or not. We may get some in further variation may be occur in viruses and because of the mutation. So the future of the pandemic is not certain, as this though it is not only causing this mortality and morbidity, huge mortality and morbidity, and there is a changing characteristic of this virus. Number of variants has appeared from time to time, and there may be, if it is going on, because it is still the virus evolving, so a number of variants may appear. So what about the future pandemic is not certain. So it is very important to understand that vaccination, which is now available, and we do not have the medicine, specific medicines to control this disease. So this vaccination is the only solution to tackle this type of pandemic. By this vaccination only, we can able to at least restrict or to prevent the spread of the infection. So need of the hour is the COVID-19 vaccine, which is available in injectable form. So little bit of the vaccines. So different type of vaccines are there, how we prepare. One is through this viral, which is called viral factor, where we uses a harmless virus, which is altered to contain a part of COVID-19 genetic code. And when we inject, this code tells our cells to make the COVID-19 spike protein, and which triggered our immune response. Or vaccines also prepared by this RNA, which contain a synthetic version of part of COVID-19's genomic code as a messenger RNA. And this could again, the same mechanism, this could tell our cells to make the COVID-19 spike protein, and then they trigger the immune response. Sometimes we can use some vaccines prepared by using a weak or inactivated version of the COVID-19 virus. And this virus, when we inject in the body, this triggered in the immune response. And also, we can use some species of COVID-19 virus or the fragment of the spike protein injected, and this may also trigger the immune response. So these are different type of preparation of the vaccines. And now different brands are there, these preparations. These are different brands, Covishield, Covaxins, then Bio-E type vaccines, Cadila DNA, Novavax, then BB nasal vaccines, a messenger RNA vaccine, Sputnik vaccines, etc., etc. So it are available in India now, and some will be available shortly. But in India now we have this Covishield. All of you heard about the Covishield vaccine, Covaxin vaccine. Also the Sputnik vaccines is there. Covishield and Covaxin is now widely uses. Sputnik vaccines also started at Hyderabad. In Assam also, in this Narayana Hridayalaya, probably we get these Sputnik vaccines available. So these are the vaccines are available in India now. But thing is that we know this virus is responsible for this mortality and morbidity, the huge number of mortality and morbidity, and also not only this affect this our life, but it also adversely affect our economic status, economic conditions of the country, economics of the family, economics of this society was affected with this virus. Because during this lockdown, many people lost their job, many people lost their livelihood, and this the business there is a adverse impact on the businesses. There is a restriction in this trade, etc. So lots of sufferings was there for this disease, COVID-19. But still people, though their sufferings are there, people are not come forward to take the vaccination, to come to the hospital for this vaccination. One of the main reasons is illiteracy and arrogancy. Apart from that, mainly their lack of awareness regarding the importance of the vaccines. Because by vaccination only we can able to control this disease, but it is utmost necessary to aware the people not only about the COVID disease but also the importance of the vaccines. Because if a major chunk of people get vaccinated, then only we will be able to minimize the damage which is caused by the virus in human body. So it is very, very important to receive the vaccine or to take the vaccines. And now vaccine is available. But people are not willing, and that is why vaccine hesitancy is the actual roadblock. So what is it? What is vaccine hesitancy? It is referred to delay in acceptance or refusal of vaccine despite availability of the vaccine services, and is influenced by factors like complacency, convenience, and confidence. So we should work on these factors so that people will come forward to take the vaccine. So only way to overcome this hurdle is the vaccine awareness. When to take vaccines? Time to take vaccines, that means COVID-19 vaccine is now. So awareness is very, very important. Vaccine awareness is very, very important if we want to control, we want to reduce the spread of the disease, we want to reduce the sufferings of the people, then vaccination of this program should be there and people should come forward to take the vaccine. So aim of the awareness is to build the trust and enable a greater confidence in the COVID-19 vaccine amongst all people by employing the transparency in communication. Also, managing any misinformation or disinformation and rumors around it. So one of the important factors of not taking this vaccine is the associated rumor and the different myths and misconceptions are there along with the vaccines. This is one of the reasons of this not taking the, we are not willing to take the vaccine. So we have to build the trust and also to get the confidence among them by employing transparency in the communications, and also we have to manage all this or correct all this misinformation or disinformation and all the rumors around it. That's why the main objectives of this awareness is first to address the apprehensions around the vaccine safety, vaccine efficacy, and any other myths and misconceptions. Then provide the information on potential risks and mitigate unintended crises. Then managing and mitigating any potential disappointment expressed by unmet demand of the vaccines or eagerness amongst the people. As you know, now this as it's a new vaccine, supply vaccine is not sufficient. Till now, this supply vaccine not met the demand, people's demand. So there's a gap between the supply and this requirement. So we have need to have some management capacity so that people should trust on us and should have the confidence so that they can wait till the vaccines are available. So it is our also one this objective is to maintain the confidence on us and also as much as possible we have to vaccinate these beneficiaries as possible. So main thing is that people are not willing is the myth associated, number of myths are associated with vaccine because it's a new one. So lots of the queries are there. And first thing is people are not willing to take the vaccine because there was belief is that this COVID vaccine causes weakness. But it is not true. There's no such type of side effect of the vaccines. And some say there are serious side effect of the vaccines. Like any other vaccines, you know, and all the vaccines, they may have some side effect like mild fever, body ache, pain, injection, etc. And this may also happen in the COVID vaccine also because it is also one type of vaccine. So there is no serious side effect, but some common side effect may be there, which is usually subside within 2 to 3 days. And some believe is that COVID-19 vaccine will make the person sick with COVID-19. It is completely wrong. This COVID-19 vaccine cannot make people sick, but this vaccine teaches our immune system how to recognize and fight the virus. It boosts up our immune systems, help to recognize, right, and that which virus that causes the COVID-19. And COVID-19 vaccine, some said this COVID-19 vaccine will alter the DNA. But no, there is no sense of this DNA or no interaction with this DNA in any way. And other people, most of the people, they believe that once one receives these vaccines, no longer need to wear the mask. But as you know, this is a new vaccines. The vaccination process is going on till a huge number of people are still waiting for having this vaccination. Only probably 1/10 of the population now till now is vaccinated. So by giving the vaccines, we have to improve our immune system to fight against these viruses. So it is utmost necessary after receiving the 2 vaccines also, we have to wear the masks, we have to go for the hand washings and physical distancing as a which are the COVID appropriate behavior. It is necessary until a sufficient number of people are immune. So though we receive the 2 vaccines, anyone who received the 2 vaccines, 2 doses, and then also we have to continue with our COVID appropriate behavior, mainly to reduce the spread of the infections and also as a safety purpose of us. Because these vaccines, sometimes because all vaccines, no vaccine is, you can say, 100% effective. That's why efficacy is not 100%. That's why there may be chance of having the infections. But if vaccinated people get the infections, then also minor signs and symptoms may be there. There are severe side effects or severe symptoms usually not develop when people have this. People are vaccinated already. So it is very important to have the vaccines and also important to continue with the COVID appropriate behavior. Some say that it is mandatory for all to take the vaccines. No, it is not mandatory to take these vaccines, but it is vaccination. Vaccination is the voluntary one. But however, it is advisable to complete the schedule of vaccines mainly to limit the spread of virus. And another myth is that Indian vaccines were made in a hurry. Actually, it is completely wrong. These vaccines have passed through a different necessary trial and add product with other vaccines worldwide. Because these vaccines, for marketing of the vaccines, we have one central drug standard control organization is there. They granted these vaccines after testing. Then only these vaccines came to the market. That's why there is no fear regarding this, no queries regarding the safety of these vaccines. So Indian vaccines are equally safe like any other vaccines. And some say that I am not at risk of severe complications of COVID-19 because I do not have any severe diseases, so I do not need to vaccines. But regardless of our sickness, we can still contract the infection and it can spread it to others. So it is very important to get the vaccine. And some say is already have been diagnosed with COVID-19, so I do not need the vaccines. If patient is already suffered from the COVID-19, then also it is evidence that this can still be benefited if he or she get the vaccines. But vaccines should be taken after 3 months after the recovery. And some say the Indian vaccines are less effective against the mutant strain. No, the Indian vaccines are equally effective against the mutant strain. So these are, and also some of these vaccines, like you can take the vaccine anytime during the periods also. And vaccine is safe for everyone. Some say this vaccine may affect this menstrual cycle. It is no, it is not, is never affected. And some say that these vaccines can be given the children above 12 years, but currently citizens of 18 years are eligible for a vaccination by the government of India. So till now, the eligibility or beneficiary for this vaccination is 18 years and above. And another one remark is that receiving the COVID-19 vaccine causes the UVA magnetic. So will not make anyone magnetic after receiving the vaccine. So these are some of these myths and misconceptions and remarks are there. So next is to whom we are going to make the awareness of this. So who is the target audience? as you know, the beneficiaries are population of above 18 years. So all these people, all the groups of 18 years, whether it is 60 years or above, or 50 years and above, or 40 years, the population which are above 18 years, they are the target audience. So we have to focus on these groups and make aware regarding the importance of the vaccines because of for this receiving the vaccines. And also we can take this national, then regional media in the traditional digital media, because mainly to can spread and mainly to percolate this all these real and factual informations to the people, addressing proactively all these misconceptions and these misinformations to the audience, so that people will be knowledgeable about these vaccines, importance of the vaccines, and also they know this all these myths and misconceptions which they have, so that they can come forward without any hesitations to take the medicines, to take these vaccines. That means 18 years people, all the eligible people should come to take the vaccine with confidence. So civil society organization, including all the hesitant groups, then youth groups, and then these influential groups, we have to cover all this, and also the elected representative like MLAs, MPs, also the person from this our Panchayati group, so that all should be aware regarding the importance of these vaccines, and they can percolate these informations to whole society. So they all should be aware, not only for the COVID disease, also for this very importance of the vaccination. And what type of information on the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccines? This information on vaccines will clarify. First thing is the safety. The vaccine has gone through the various trial and it is safe. I've already told that these vaccines, Indian vaccines, also these vaccines which are prepared and abroad also, they gone through this various trial and they are approved by this our supreme authority, World Health Organizations, for the marketing only. Then we have to start this vaccination, and it is found to be safe and effective also. Eligibility criteria, 18 years and above. We have already told this is eligibility persons. Though we are mainly focusing at the beginning 6 years and above, because I'm 50 years with having some health problems. Because of this, they are more vulnerable to this disease. But now we are vaccines are there, and we are taking this 18 years and above. All are eligible. Where to access the vaccines? Vaccines are available in many health centers, also in the private sectors. In the government health sectors, where vaccines are available at free of cost, and in the private sectors, we are at the minimal cost. These vaccines are available. Regarding the process of registration, this we have to register beforehand, and also give some basic information with photo identity, and also we have to produce this Aadhaar card or this passport or PAN card, etc. Before. These are the preconditions for vaccination, mainly for the identification. Then the post-vaccination care and support is there. After this, the shot, people have to wait for at least for half an hour. Like any other vaccine, actually after taking the vaccine, we have to wait for half an hour. And for any problem, we have one AFI committee is there, and then immediately they have to take the action. So for the vaccine also, after the vaccination also, there is a provision for this care and the support. So all this information regarding the vaccines have to be percolated to this. But important thing is the how to tackle this hesitant group. this vaccination program is for the community. So community have to come forward. That's why it is very important the community engagement or the community involvement is very, very important. If people are involved, then they will aware, they will motivate, and they will be knowledgeable, and then they will accept. That's why community involvement or community participation is very, very important for success of any program. That's why first thing is we have to involve, we have to engage community with some credible communication approaches for each target group, mainly to build the trust in vaccines. First, we have to build that trust in vaccines to all these target group with some communication skills, and then we have to engage the community so that they will percolate the informations and community will be accepted and they will come forward for this vaccination. And apart from that, we have to find out on the basis of our prior experience, we have to identify traditionally known vaccine resistant or vaccine hesitant areas or groups and community which are there in some areas. Some groups are there, no? They are hesitant. Some resistant groups are there in everywhere. So our resistant communities are there. We have to identify beforehand with our prior experience. Then from this group, we have to identify some of these people who have the communication skill and who are accepted by the community, and then orient them and then build their trust, and so that they will accept this vaccination activities, and so that they will then go to these areas and they spread the informations, and then they aware these people regarding the vaccination process. So we have to orient this credible influencer from all the local communities which are hesitant or resistant communities, and then first build their trust, and they will go for accept the vaccine. If they if they advises people, because they are listened by this, they are accepted by the people, if they advises people for this to receive the vaccine, definitely they will come forward with the vaccines. That's why we have to select those people, local peoples out there. And also develop some articles with support from the influencer about the safety and efficacy of vaccines in this our national state levels. And these articles, apart from that, we use different article and research which are written in support of the vaccines, and also a scientific explanations and the clip of the all these credible influencer which can be used during the interaction with the hesitant group. Also, we can create a pool of editors who will write and share the opinion of the editorial in national, state, and regional media, so that by reading these writings, people will be motivated. And another important point is the monitoring. So real-time round-the-clock monitoring of the digital media is also important, mainly to facilitate the appropriate timely action to address the hesitancy group. So, as you know, we are discussing about these vaccines, but while these vaccines are an important part of this COVID-19 protection, it is also important to emphasize that this continued practice of this COVID-appropriate behavior is very, very important. Our main aim is to prevent and control this COVID-19 disease, reduce the mortality and morbidity. So apart from these vaccinations, we have to continue this COVID-appropriate behavior. We have to follow the COVID-appropriate behavior. And you know the COVID-appropriate behavior, the use of masks, then hand washing with soap and water, and if not available, then go for the use of sanitizer, 70% alcohol-based sanitizer. And we have to keep the social distance 2 meters. And if there is any signs and symptoms, then go for the prompt testing, and then if possible, if positive, then prompt self-isolation is very, very important. So these are the COVID appropriate behavior. Main aim is to prevent the spread of these infections. So along with this vaccination, we have to go for the COVID appropriate behavior. And we know different platforms are there to mainly to spread this severe COVID appropriate behavior. Now you know this, when we use this mobile, first message is alarming message regarding this, all this COVID appropriate behavior, mainly to aware the people, mainly to motivate the people for this use of masks, then hand washing, and the social distancing. So we can use the celebrity also from the entertainment industry, from the sports, and from the politics also. They also give some advertisement regarding this COVID behavior. Then local leaders, faith leader also, because they because people are mainly listen to these faith leaders or social cultural leaders, panchayat leaders, from the teachers. Then also from the front-end workers from these areas through the supervisor, Anganwadi worker, ANM, ASA, etc. And different community groups from this NSS, then Nehru, Yuva, Kendra, Sangstar, Scout and Guide, etc. And also mainly the social media, because because this COVID, there's a lockdown was there, so it is sometimes not possible to go for this grouping or to go for the community advertisement. So mainly we use this social media, and also mass media, and also outdoor media like wall painting, hoardings in the bus panel, then poster, banner, etc. Mainly, apart from these vaccinations, then this COVID behavior, continuity COVID behavior, very, very important, mainly to prevent any disease. So these are these actions to be taken. And what are the key actions taken at a national level for this vaccination? In the national level, we have the MyGov Corona Help Desk chatbot is there, which is empowered to amplify the key messages and provide the information on the COVID-19 vaccines. We have a national level channel for the general public to make their queries and also provide the informations regarding this virus, and also regarding the vaccines. Also have a coordination committee to coordinate between social media cells of the social media cells, between these social media managers from government and also from the development partner. And also important thing is to develop an audience targeting plan to prepare some specific messages for the specific predefined sets of audience, specific messages for a specific audience. Mainly for the greater impact, they have to develop different messages according to the need of the specific audience. Then in the state level, we have the state committees there, which is utilized for interdepartmental coordination and the support for the awareness generation with the help of religious leaders, because they are the main persons, key persons in the village level whom people will listen to, and also administrative staff to maintain the discipline also, including the political leaders, local celebrities also. And we have the regional, then local media and online news, community radio stations to reach the underserved and the marginalized group with all messages related to these vaccines and the COVID-19, and also sharing different stories, photos, videos, etc. So the electronic and the print media, which are WhatsApp and the social media also at the state level to aware the people, the whole state. And actions to be taken at the sub-state level, that means in the district and the block level. We have to identify and empower the support of youth organization and panchayat bodies. Identify these panchayat bodies and different youth organizations and empower them with this COVID, about this knowledge regarding COVID vaccination, so that they can populate this information and organizing their vaccination also. Then organizing the district level training or the workshop for the block level MO in charge to train this. First, we have to train this block level MO in charge, and then in turn, they train the health workers, the frontline workers, supervisor, and stakeholder from this all this key line department. So the smooth functioning of this vaccination process. And then we have to identify online platform, in-person training platform, in the block level training. Mainly to cover all these people to aware regarding disease. And one important is just use of WhatsApp for proactive messages. As you know, this WhatsApp is a popular digital platform which will be utilized strategically to amplify the factual information and the positive messages. To build a positive media narrative, we have to, through this WhatsApp, we can positive articles by the expert in national and state media. And message should be clear and the content one. And then then this we have to correct all the myth, and we have to provide the factual informations, and we have to hold regular media briefing and share the press report, and then create the attractive messages, develop different short videos, then develop the toolkit also, influence different network to amplify the core messages and clearly, if any doubt, any negative there, then we can correct it through this by building the positive public discourse. So these through this WhatsApp also we can calculate some of the informations and also correct all these misinformations and remarks associated with this. So for this social mobilization and community engagement, because our aim is to aware these people for these vaccinations, so we have to go for the social mobilizations and for this community engagement. So who are the key stakeholders for it? So community-based organizations, NGOs, then frontline workers, state rural livelihood mission volunteers, the urban local bodies and PRA members, Panchayat Raj institution members, then health functionaries and teachers, faith-based institutions like all these SARS, then Namghar, etc., and all the networks, the youth network platforms, then Scout guidelines, club, Rotary Club, etc., and municipal corporation, Mahila request committees. These are the key stakeholders who is playing important role in mobilization and involvement of these communities. So we have to address all these groups, and we have to take help of this group. We have to inform, aware, and with the help of these groups, stakeholders, we go to the deeper aspect, and then we have to provide this information so that people will come forward for this without any hesitation. As you know, this is a program monitoring and evaluation framework is there. Current concurrent communication monitoring at a state, district, and block level session is also important. Another important point is whether we go for these vaccinations during the pregnancy. But on this Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Government of India, we found that the pregnant women are at risk of COVID-19 complications if they are older than 35 years age. That means they are vulnerable if they are obese and have some underlying medical conditions such as diabetes or high blood pressure, also have a history of clotting on their limb, etc. Then pregnant women also at risk of having the COVID-19 complications. And if a pregnant mother is suffering from this COVID-19, this symptomatic COVID-19 may causes, in case women are at risk of severe disease, and it might affect the fetus also. So not only the mothers, but it also may have some adverse affect the fetus also. So hence COVID-19 vaccine is recommended for the pregnant women by the Government of India Health and Family Welfare Division. So COVID-19 vaccine is safe for both the pregnant woman and her child. Then next, lastly, what are steps are taken by the government of Assam? Number of steps have been taken by the government of Assam to provide this vaccination to the people. First of all, main thing is this: we are getting the vaccine free of cost in the government settings, and also the different steps are taken, different measures are taken to provide the vaccines in different populations. Like we have a near to home COVID vaccination center is there for elderly and differently able citizens. Mean the population as above 60 years, which are also in the priority group at the beginning. So COVID vaccinations which has started since March 2021. And also those who are this have some disabilities are there, like physical and mental condition, medical disability there also the vaccines can be taken in their near to home vaccination NHC center. Mainly for the elderly and the different able citizens, they have the special booth is there for them. Then also the government of Assam announced a month-long vaccination drive for the eminent personality, which has started from the June 1st. For this 1 month was there, and mainly to vaccinate the noted people at their homes. Then enhanced COVID vaccination drive was for the 10 days, which include the inoculation of the 3 lakhs people daily, which has started from the June 21. Mainly people of this 18 years and 44 years and above. And all people are there in this enhanced vaccination, COVID vaccination drive. We have to cover all these people, eligible people. Then we have over 2,000 vaccination centers has been set up, mainly in the remote and remote areas and backward areas. And also every tea garden should have 1 vaccination center. And the theme song is to start the vaccine campaign was there by the Barsinga Jubin Garg. Lastly, whether the vaccine works or not. Yes, it was found that in the US, Galvani et al., they have estimated that found that when they go for this daily date, which compare with the daily date of this with vaccination or without vaccination, it is shown that without vaccinations, this graph was indeed daily date graph was increasing, and with the vaccination after this February and March, this graph was with the vaccination, this daily date graph was declining. But if there's no vaccinations, if vaccination not available during this February or March, then there was also shown that there is a peak of this graph if there was vaccination not available. So after this vaccination, it is found that this death because of the COVID is reduces greatly. That's why this vaccination now it is found that vaccination is work. So we have to take the vaccines. So why there is a need to increase the awareness on the COVID-19 vaccination? It's very important. We have to take the vaccine, and for that, people should come forward. For that, we have to need to increase the awareness. Because the first and second wave of the pandemic led to a dramatic loss of the human life and put forward the unmet challenges to the public health system. The socio-economic disruption, as you know, the disruption is caused by the COVID-19 is just devastating. But still, because of various reasons, because of misconception, because of arrogancy, because of this illiteracy, these people, lack of awareness also, people are not willing to accept the fact that this vaccine is the only way to protect the life of the people. And there is no alternative to it, because the third wave is likely to come. So raising the awareness on COVID-19 vaccination is important in current scenario, and it has become the need to testing time. So with this, I conclude my topic. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very informative session for all of us. So if someone have any queries, you can come.
Screenshot to help. Screenshot idea.
As virus always mutates, will the vaccine taken now will protect me after 30 to 40 years?
Actually,
We
till
have
now,
one question.
Yeah, this is a very important question. Actually, these vaccines is a new vaccines and mutation is going on, but still it is found that it improve our immunity. But some vaccines we are giving for protection for lifelong, but it is said that these vaccines are giving the protection for 9 months to 1 year. But in future, probably we'll get these vaccines which can protect us for the lifelong. But now these vaccines, as per these preparations, it can give us protection for the 9 months to 1 year. Till now, actually. And subclinical infection will be there.
And we have another question. What is the efficacy of the different vaccines?
Efficacy, actually, you don't know about this efficacy, but some said that it is varies from country to country. Some said Covishield giving us 70 to 80%, Covaxin giving 60 to 70%, but messenger RNA and this they give the 90% efficacy is said to be 90%. But it varies. But now in India we have available only the Sputnik and these two vaccines.
When a person with heart problem and kidney disease, can they go for COVID-19 vaccine?
Yeah, they can. Actually, before that, we have to go for this specialist for checkup, and if they allow, then we can give for vaccination. Actually, heart problem is not a contraindication. But still,
so next question is there any possibility for the need of a third dose or booster dose?
Definitely, because till now I don't know. They said that it is protections for the 6 months, 9 months to 1 year. So if it is so, then we have to need for another booster doses required. But till now, because preparation is going on, no? So we have my aim is to cover all the populations, target population, 18 years and above. And from the September onwards, we are going to cover above 12 years also. Before, after covering whole, then probably we'll go for this booster dose whenever necessary. We have to test our antibody. Then we have to go for this.
One more question is there, ma'am. Among the different types of variant like alpha, gamma, beta, and delta, which variant of COVID-19 is more dominant?
Actually, in India, now this delta vaccine virus is dominant. And it is severe one. That's why lots of mortality and morbidity was there because of this. Alpha is also there, but the delta is more severe form.
So another question is there, ma'am. Will vaccine for babies will be included in routine immunization schedule?
Actually, till babies, actually before the 6 years, according to pediatrician, these children are more likely they are resistant to this actually diseases. They are actually at a safer side because some of these receptors which are not available in their body below 6 years. So vaccines, these viruses are not not multiplied in their bodies. That's why till now babies are in a safer side. So till now actually we are taking this 18 years and above, then we'll go for this 12 years, then probably afterwards we can think of this. But now those who are vulnerable, babies are less vulnerable in compared to the adult one. So we are thinking of the vulnerable group. So now the vaccine is only for the vulnerable group, 18 years, and if possible, go for this 12 years also.
Okay. after taking vaccination by some people got fever, body pain, and other didn't get any fever. Why? This question.
No, people may get this. These are like any other vaccines. These are common problems. You can say these common minor complications, fever, headache, and usually, if there's a fever, you can go for only for paracetamol, not for this painkiller should not be taken. Only and within 2 to 3 days, usually subside.
Yes. So if someone's BP is 50/80, then they go for take vaccine. Okay, like can they take the vaccine? I think
vaccines this not have any impact in this our pressure system. But if anyone have this 80/50, then definitely there may be headache or this may be there. So first you have to treat them, then go for the vaccination.
One question is there, after vaccination, how many days does it take for the vaccine to be fully effective?
Actually, from the first vaccine, taking the first vaccine, after 14 to 15 days, it start giving the protections. And after this 2 doses, after 2 weeks, we get full protections.
So that means third dose is depends on COVID variant.
Yeah, the vaccine will be altered, no, because the variant, this mutation is going on. So in our laboratory also, different laboratories, the vaccine preparation is going on. So according to this variant, definitely they are changing characteristics of these vaccines also be there.
One another question, ma'am. What happens if we miss the second dose of vaccine?
Look, like any other vaccines, there's no way out because it is very important to take the vaccines, no? Because we have to not only protect ourselves, protect itself, but also have to protect our society also. Because if we suffer from the vaccine, this disease, then definitely we can spread the infection to others. So easily should not miss the vaccines. And if it is 2 or 3 or 7 days, it is doesn't matter.
Okay. One question is there, ma'am. Is it compulsory to take paracetamol after vaccination?
No. If there's a pain or any fever, yes, you can take it.
Okay. And last question, I think, ma'am, if someone is taking antibiotic for other reasons, can they take the vaccine?
Actually, diclofenac sodium they have some, but painkiller has some sometimes may hamper this immunity. That's why we have to take this one. And if you take the vaccine, you should take the vaccine in the health institutions where doctors are available and wait for there for a few hours. Then only, and you have to keep in contact with the doctors.
Yes, ma'am. About the diclofenac, there is a question, ma'am. Why is there an interaction with other drugs like diclofenac sodium?
Actually, some people, it's a new drug, I have no vaccine, I have told you. But in one case, when the person, doctors, she get this injection diclofenac, there's a anaphylactic reactions was there. But one of my friend, he take the tablet, but there's no reactions. But till we have to not to take the diclofenac, so we have to take only the paracetamol because this pain is not so much after this vaccine. Or sometimes body ache may be there, maybe some pain at the vaccine side may be there, but it's not so much. We should restrict ourselves with the paracetamol only.
One more question. If our body gets allergic reaction after getting first dose of vaccine, what should we do during the second dose?
No, actually, if the same vaccine it causes some allergic reactions, then if you take the second dose, then it should be taken in the hospitals and wait for these few hours. Because one of my colleagues also had some reaction of first dose, then the second dose allergic reaction was there, but it usually subside. But you know, the first dose, if the sensor is the second time, it is been more severe. So you have to wait. And if it was afraid of, then not to take the vaccine, so you have to try another one.
So, ma'am, if a person has COVID-19 after first dose, what about the second dose?
COVID after having the vaccine, hospital vaccine.
Yes, ma'am.
We develop this COVID-19. Then after recovery, wait for 3 months, then you have to take the second shot.
And one more question, ma'am. How long should a COVID-infected person have to wait for first dose vaccination after he or she recovered?
3 months.
90.
We have to wait for 3 months.
If we get positive after giving our first dose, up to how many days can we take the second dose? Same question.
Same question.
Yes, yes. And last, I think one question, what happens if any person don't know he have COVID and get the vaccine?
Actually, some said that this vaccination do not hamper with the disease. But in some areas, they before doing this vaccination, they have to do for this rapid test. Then go for vaccination. And if there's any clinical sign and symptoms develop, like this clinical signs of COVID-19, if any suspect, then before getting the vaccine, we have to go for this testing. So that there actually, according to there's no side effect. If the people are suffering the vaccine, this COVID also, we can get the vaccines. But sometimes we don't know because a new one, sometimes reaction may be there. So better, if you any doubt, first we have to say we have to go for the investigations, and if we are negative one, then definitely take the vaccination.
One more question is coming. Why painkillers cannot be taken after vaccination?
Actually, some say that because it may cause some anaphylactic reactions of idiopathic origin. That's why better not to take this one painkiller. But it is they found that some people, they do not know, they take the painkiller, no reactions were there. But we know that some people are suffering because of this painkiller, have some allergic reactions, so better not to take painkiller.
Can people test positive after a vaccine shot?
Yes, because I already told you that this is not efficacy is not 10%. So there may be possibility of having this virus, but the disease will be a mild one, and it not develop to severity, and there is no death actually. And this is know that this Covaxin vaccine, 0.13% of the people having two sort of Covaxin, and 0.07% of the people taking the 2 doses of Covishield have the breakthrough infections.
So we are at the end of today's session. Thank you, Professor Dr. Jyotika Oza, ma'am. It was a very informative session, and I thank you once again for giving us your valuable time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks.
I also thankful to Dr. Gitumoni Kaur, ma'am, Academic Director, Faculty of Paramedical Science, and Director Research of Outreach, Faculty of Nursing, Assam Danton University, also the chairperson of this for this FDP, for her continuous support and the guidance. I also thankful to Dr. Avijit Datta sir, Associate Dean, Faculty of Paramedical Science, Assam Danton University, also the organizing secretary of the FDP. I would like to thank all the participants of Assam Danton University, along with the participants from various institutions and organizations, to make this session successful. Once again, thank you, and please fill up this feedback form. I request all the delegates to fill up the feedback forms. And thank you all. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.